Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Guru and the Other Guy. My name is Vinny. I'm here with the other guy, and I kind of messed up our last podcast, and I apologize about that. So we got to redo it. So, Guru, I hate that I got to make you tell your stories again, but they were
Yeah,
good. It was a,
I'm a
I got
spontaneous
you.
guy, and I hate
I hear
repeating
you are,
myself.
and you had a good story.
Because I think it's like like not deliberate. It's
It was purely
whatever they
accidental.
call it, where I'm reading
Purely
where I'm
accidental.
reading off a
Purely
script.
accidental. All right. So, Guru, we were going to talk about subject to financing, a subject that I can't stand.
Yeah.
I hate subject to with a passion. Now, there's a time and a place for everything. I'm not going to deny that. And there are times that you can use
Right.
that in your tool chest. But as a main tool for investing, I am not a fan of it. I know that you're not truly a fan of it. But we are both fans of the installment sale contract, AKA contract for deed. And you, my friend, are going to tell us a story about Archie, an ex-client of yours. It's a deal. All right.
It's a deal.
Let's hear this deal. And this is an installment sale contract, right? Contract for deed. Hey, can I ask you a question?
Contract.
Can I ask you a question?
Uh,
When
Fire away.
when you learned about, now listen, me and you both went to real estate school. You became a realtor at some point in your life. I went and I went the mortgage broker route and became a lender. Okay. Now, both of us
Right.
learned what an installment sale contract is in real estate school. Now, they spent 33 seconds on the whole entire contract for deed in class, okay? They didn't spend much time on it,
Yeah,
right?
not that long.
And then I got involved within it. I started buying a lot of homes using a contract for deed. Now, I always call it, now you can name it an installment sale contract, a land contract, a contract for deed, deed for our bonds, right? Or they call it, like we live in a judicial state, so some that aren't, they call a deed, a bonded deed or whatever, or an escrow deed, right? Because they put it in an escrow account.
Right.
So all those things mean the same identical thing. But I call
Right,
it,
right.
see, everything can be purchased, and everything that you do purchase on terms, right? You make monthly payments, is an installment sale contract. Like when you finance a phone,
Right.
credit
Credit
right?
cards
They're
or
all
whatever,
installment sales. Okay, you could buy anything
Yeah.
under an install. You buy a car, that's an installment sale. You buy a boat, that's an
Right.
installment sale. Now, I always learned my guy that showed me this method, and he wasn't a teacher, he wasn't a mentor. I just bought property from him, and he said, "Hey, listen," and you got to remember, I'm in my early 20s, right? I'm a young kid. I'm green behind the ears. He said, "Listen, you call this a contract for deed because everything else is an installment sale, but this is more specific to the transaction. So when you're doing real estate, call it a contract for deed." Now, I know you could call it whatever, it all means the same, but what do you call it, or what did you call it back in the day when you did your stuff?
Well, I call it an installment sale because in all the realtor offices, you
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
contracts, and on that contract,
Yes,
it said
and I
installment
have,
sale. It did not say
you're
contract
right,
for
it does.
deed.
And I actually have
I've never wrote up a contract that said contract. for
understood,
deed. It
said installment
always
sale.
said
Now,
installment.
do you
says
know
installment sale. Yeah.
that I have,
Which might be an easier sell.
maybe,
It might be, to me, it's an easier
maybe,
sell.
do you
than
know
sell.
that I have the original installment sale contract from the PAR, which is the Pennsylvania Association of Realtors? I have
Oh, do
that.
you?
Yes, I had it in my old, I got my old computer up, my old PC, and I dug some files up, and I've got the original PAR installment sale contract, and I have it. I'll send you a copy of it from the Pennsylvania Association of
okay.
Realtors. They stopped doing it in 2016, just so you know. So the realtors, yes, the
Oh, did
realtors
they?
used to use these contracts up until 2016. And then I
you
don't know
know
why.
why?
From what I heard, it was some type of lawsuit. And they stopped using the contract. Now, that's a guess on my part. It could be I don't know the reason, but I do know it was around
But it's
2016.
legal to use.
Oh, it's still a law. It's still a law. And, it's a lot of stuff. So why don't you tell us about the deal that you had and why on some deals it can only be done through an installment sale contract, or AKA contract for deed or land contract. Tell us the
Right.
deal that you had that any other way it wouldn't have worked.
Right. I had this
I love the hat, by
client.
the way. Yeah.
I did.
Yeah, in
It's cold
Florida.
here.
By the way, he's in Florida.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I forgot about our first
Yeah.
podcast, the
Yeah.
one before. Yeah. I'm here an extra day in Florida. It's the mid-50s.
We feel bad for you.
I know it's colder up there. What's the
It's about
temperature up
30.
there?
It snowed earlier. It
Oh, is it
snowed
really?
as I was taking my son to the airport. It snowed on my way home.
I'm going to get a hard dose of reality then tomorrow night. So
It's 31 degrees. I was
I
close.
had
It's
this
31
client.
degrees.
Oh, geez. Man,
Yep.
that is cold. So I had this one client, Archie, and I sold his places and his families. So he had this business for years. He was an auto body owner. So he goes, listen, I want to put this up for sale. And I'm like, oh, sure, let's do it. Well, lo and behold, EPA and you have to get all these studies, and then you have to, remedy it if
Well, let me help you out with that.
construction-wise.
So, because I've dealt with this a few times, when you're dealing with an auto body shop, it's you have
Right.
when you're transferring the property from one to another. The problem is, like you said, the EPA. There's hazardous material. You've got engine fluid. You've got transmission fluid. You've got all the oils.
Well, there was paint.
And
There
paint,
was
and
paint.
all, and it
There's
could have
all
been
that
lead
stuff,
paint
yeah.
too, and all that stuff could have easily just swept into the ground or seeped into the ground, right? And if it does, when you go
Right.
to transfer commercial property, some of the things you have to do is phase one. It's called entitlements. To transfer property, it's called entitlements, and part of the entitlements is doing an environmental survey. Okay, an environmental survey is when they're digging up that dirt and finding out if there's any hazardous material in there. So you've
been
had
compromised.
this. So this is what this property had. It had a problem with the environmental. Yes.
Yeah, well, because it was an
Right.
auto body shop with all those chemicals being leaked for decades into
Yeah.
the ground. They would go outside and pour all that stuff right into the
right.
grass and all around.
Swell.
Yeah, that's. I mean, if they disposed of it properly, probably
Right.
could have avoided a lot of that. But they didn't know at the time. All of a sudden, the EPA comes in and says, "We're going to do this, and you got to have that." And so that's what led to. I said to Archie, I said, "There's only one way, brother, that we can do this, and that's installment sale. I don't see any other
Right.
way around it." And then that would pass off the responsibilities eventually to
Right.
that
Now-
buyer.
now,
I
Let me ask you your expert opinion. How many realtors do you think would have passed on this deal? That we can't do it because of the entitlement stage or the environmental issues, knowing how long it would take.
I'm not going to be obnoxious. I'm going to be truthful. 99.9.
Would have passed. Listen, I think every single
passed.
person would have passed on that.
Because see, I did
Right.
installment sales.
You knew.
I was
Yeah.
before that.
Yeah,
I'm
so
doing
you knew about
installment
it.
sales, so I'm
Yep.
familiar how to. And that's
Yeah.
what we talk about with
Yep.
the Golden Triangle. If you have knowledge and you have, in your
Yep.
arsenal, you have ways
Yep.
to do business
That
then,
others don't.
man, you
Right.
have an answer. But agents don't have that. Now, you just said they took the contract out. Well, I mean, they didn't
Right.
know it
No, they
before,
didn't.
so it doesn't
Nope.
really matter.
They didn't.
took
Listen,
it out,
listen. I can tell you, in the mortgage business, I guarantee you, 99% of the mortgage brokers never heard of an installment sale contract either. Right? They had no idea.
They heard of it, but they
Of course
don't know
they
how to
don't.
structure it. They
So
don't
let's tell the
understand
folks why. Let's tell the folks why. So the reason why a traditional sale wouldn't have worked in this situation is that to transfer this, the township would have wanted an environment, which is called an entitlement, phase one entitlement stage, which is an environmental. And that would have taken years and thousands of dollars to clean that stuff up. Okay?
It may have been
Right.
cost
It never.
prohibitive.
Right. Never
You
would
may
have
not
happened.
have been able to, you may not be
Probably
able to
couldn't have been
sell
able
it.
to sell it. So, an installment sale. Now, the way that this works is the buyer comes in, puts money, may or may not put money down. In this case, did they put money down, Guru?
Yeah,
Okay, so they put
$10,000.
$10,000 down. What was the sales price? Okay, so
180. 180. Yeah, 180. Yeah,
all right, let's
180.
just call it
Around
two, let's
180.
call it
Say
200
around
because it's
180.
easier to say, right? So you got a sales price of 200. They put $10,000 down. Now here's what happens. Archie, the owner, he's going to keep the deed, right? He's keeping the deed. However, the buyers, in this case, there was two buyers, right? There was two buyers in this case, right?
Two buyers, 7
Okay,
year
2 years and a 7-year balloon. So they put $10,000 down. They're going to make monthly payments to Archie, right? And now these buyers, they own the property. They own it. They just don't have the legal title to it, but they own it. It's sold under an installment sale. They have They have what is called equitable ownership. Okay, so now they've got 7 years, and then here's what in 7 years, it's considered a refinance and not a purchase. So now the buyers are responsible for any of the cleanup. Now, for the most part, because they own it under an installment sale, they might not have to do all that environmental stuff to get it done, right?
Well, they were operating their
Right.
business from
Of course,
day one.
they just took it right over.
If it was a conventional, transfer, then they
Yes.
would have been screwed. They would have had to sit around twiddling their fingers for a long time.
So here's a case that literally, absolutely would have never got done in any other situation. Now,
No.
did this close in 7 years?
3 years.
Okay, so in 3 years.
But then Then we have the story, the shocker, and then leading up.
All
to
right.
the
Well, let me
settlement.
ask you a question, Guru. Now, you were the realtor on this deal. When did you get paid?
Oh, well, I was pretty bright.
There you go. See, you're a smart realtor, right?
Yeah.
Because,
Well, what I did was I got the
Right.
10,000. So
Okay.
6%, it was only no, I'm sorry, I charged
Okay.
5. So it was 5% on
180.
180.
Right. So how much is?
So I covered
so
my
let me,
nuts.
so how
why
much?
it
How
was
much did you
10,000.
charge? How much did you charge them on the 180? What did you charge them? All right. So if it was 180, what's the sales price? Right. I got to count on my fingers and toes. Yeah, it's $9,000. It's
Well,
$9,000.
it was-
So basically,
Yeah,
out of that
I
10
myself.
grand, you took 9 of it up front for your fee. Okay.
Yes.
Which is okay, fair, because now Archie's got a deal, right? He doesn't have to worry about the environmental issue stuff. He's getting paid. He's getting paid.
He owned
the free and clear.
So
Right.
he
So
owned
he's getting
it
money
free.
every month,
Yeah.
and he's got no responsibilities now, which is awesome. Okay.
And it was
cash flow, right? Cash flowing. Now, so explain to me, so that the students and the other folks who are watching us, you did 2 closings. I'm assuming first you had what we call a dry closing.
Well, yeah, let me
Okay.
go over that really briefly because it's kind of
Okay.
comical. So we have the attorney. I have attorney I knew that did the dry closing. So we all sat down, and there's 2 partners.
Okay.
One partner is just a pure pain in the ass. He's a troublemaker. I had a problem with him.
These are the
with
buyers you're talking.
meetings,
This
and he
is
was
the
just a
buyer you're
hijacker.
talking about. Right.
These are
Okay.
the buyers.
And
Yeah,
the one
these are
buyer's
the
a pain in
buyers.
the ass.
And
Nightmare.
he's a pain in the ass. And so he is sitting at the settlement table. He goes, "Okay, I want to discuss something. I want to reduce the price." That's on the installment set.
He wants to lower the price.
And yeah.
At the table.
You have to understand, Archie was at the table. And Archie was one of these guys. He was a nice man. Now, I wouldn't want to go in a back alley with him because he was a strong dude. But he was not the kind of guy who verbally would defend himself. Well, I did. And we literally, it was a shoving match. In the closing.
Right. You guys got into a shoving match.
With the attorney.
Shoving, physical.
Yeah, shoving match, and
Physical. Archie.
Archie, physical, yeah. Archie's girlfriend was there.
It was a clown
it was
show.
like it. Oh, it was real. So the attorney said, "Listen, let's let
Right.
this breathe."
Yeah.
That's
Take a couple
exactly what he
days. How long
said.
did you take?
Yeah.
One
So
day.
one day,
Wow.
he, yeah. So we met 24
Okay.
hours later. So it was
Oh,
still
sure. I
tense.
bet.
Now,
What?
guess what happened? Now I know, I'm sorry, I time out. I just remembered this. It We dropped to ten
Wait a
thousand
sec. Hold
dollars.
on. Let's stop. I just want everybody to understand. Hold on.
Yeah,
Okay. Hold
I
that thought
just
for a second because
remembered
I
that
want
too.
everybody to
Yeah.
understand this. When you sign a contract, whether it's an agreement of sale, an installment sale, whatever contract you sign, that's a legal binding contract. The seller
Yes,
had
it is.
no he didn't have to lower the price one red cent whatsoever.
Well,
And
no,
if the
he did
buyers
not.
didn't go through with it, he could have sued them for specific performance. And he could have
And
kept their
damages.
10,000,
And
he could have got
or
damages, and he could have forced the sale, right? So the guy who said 30 grand is out of his mind thinking that,
Well,
well, he
10,000.
started with
He
30.
dropped to 10 grand.
Okay, so go ahead.
Yeah.
What happened the next day?
So
Wait,
so
why did you guys get into a fight?
we
What was the fight over?
because he wanted to drop the damn price. He was trying to hold them up
Right?
at settlement. And I didn't take
Right?
kindly to
Okay.
that.
Yeah.
You know, because he was
He
trying
was
to
trying to
screw
bully him.
Archie. He
Right.
knew Archie. Yeah, because you know how it is. The seller goes to
Yeah.
settlement, and it's not a conventional.
Well,
It's
hold on. Let's
unconventional, but
explain this part too. The first settlement that you're talking about that you went to, because it was an installment sale and no money is really changing hands except for the 10,000. This is what we call a dry settlement. This is where you're only signing paperwork, but no money is transferring hands. A small amount is 10,000, not the whole 180. So we
right.
call that a dry settlement. So during this dry settlement where you're signing the papers, you guys get into a fight because he wants to lower the price 30 grand, which he cannot do.
Yeah, it
Tense.
was pretty
Okay.
intense. Let me
So
tell you,
then the
it was
attorney
intense.
says, whoa, 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 let's everybody, let's cool our house.
Who was
Okay, who's a
of
friend of
mine?
yours?
Yeah,
Okay.
he was a
He
friend
says,
of
whoa,
mine.
whoa, whoa, whoa. Let's hold the phone. Let's everybody come back tomorrow. Everybody come back with cooler heads. Let's try to settle this like gentlemen and women. Because there was a woman involved as well. Okay.
Yes.
So the next day,
Yeah.
you all go back. What the hell happens now?
Well, now Archie had to drop it by 10 grand.
Why?
So it wasn't 180. Well,
Right.
you know how it
Right.
is. I mean, he
I
wants to
got you.
sell
I
the
got you.
property. Who's
Right.
bluffing?
Who's going to
Who's
walk
going to
away
blink?
first? I got you. It's a game of
Yeah,
chicken.
who's
It's a game of chicken.
you know, yeah.
So
So,
he lowers it instead of 30, 10. He gives him 10 off.
and you have to understand the other
Yeah.
partner. He was a
Okay.
great guy. This other partner, he
Right.
was just an asshole, man.
Right.
I'm just telling you. So I told you this the last podcast that didn't go off. So
Technical difficulties.
the next, so Archie and I and the girlfriend, we go out, we have a few drinks. They're happy,
Right.
and I
This
got
is after
my
the dry
tea,
closing happens. This is
everything's fine.
after the dry closing happens.
Yeah,
Okay.
after the
Yep.
dry closing. So I get up and you know how papers then, it's not like the internet today or
Yeah. Yeah.
texting and all that stuff
Yeah. Yeah.
that
Yeah.
goes on today. So I get the paper and the front page, I kid you not. Here is the guy with his Mercedes hanging out of the door, shot dead.
Did you kill him? Was it you?
Dead.
Did you kill him? Did you shoot him?
I swear.
So this is the guy. Wait. So the guy
didn't-
who's
no,
bitching
I
and moaning who wanted to lower 30 grand. The next day,
And
he's
he was
dead.
threatening me, by the way, and I was threatening him. We're
Did the
threatening
police
each
come and
other.
talk to you about
So,
this?
no, I thought when I saw that front page, it
That's
was almost
unbelievable.
like, oh, they're going to try to get me for an Irish hit. They thought he put the word
Did you
out,
kill him?
but
Did you have him
I,
killed?
oh, no, I was in
Right?
shock. I was like, can you believe this? So I I said to myself, damn, I think they're going to question me because I'm the
Right.
suspect.
I
I mean,
definitely would
we
have
just
questioned you. I
for
would have
two
went right to
days
you.
we just
I
growled
wouldn't even
at
question you. I
each
would have
other.
just put
Yeah,
you in
but it was
handcuffs.
a settlement, so nobody knew. It wasn't like we were in a bar and there were
Right.
witnesses,
Wow.
And but it was not the best part of town. Not that that town was that
Jesus.
bad,
Murder.
but we thought it was a drug deal or a loan deal that went bad.
Did they ever find out who did it?
And no,
Unsolved
no,
murder.
no.
Wow.
Right. And I talked, and I remember this, and I didn't bring this
Wow.
up for the last one. The other buyer was great. He said I talked to his mother. Of course, she's upset, but he said he was a bad egg. His mother even
Wow.
said this guy is a pure
Right.
troublemaker.
How old was he?
And
How old was he?
yeah, that's oh gosh,
Okay.
mid-30s.
Okay.
And back then, I told you I had a BMW and all. That's when cars were really impressive. A Mercedes then, that was
Right.
big time. This was a new Mercedes.
Wow.
This wasn't,
Wow.
a
Dude,
10-year
who
old
cares? The guy's
Mercedes.
dead.
This was
I
a
mean, the guy's
new
dead.
vehicle.
I mean, oh my God, it's horrible.
Yeah.
That is a horrible story.
Well,
Oh my God.
it was like 2 o'clock in the morning. It was, you know, nothing good happens after
No.
2 o'clock. And he was in a bad part of the town. So
Right.
you
Something
draw
bad
your own
happened. Right.
conclusions. And I think that's how the
Yeah.
cops looked at it. They're like,
Right.
this guy, maybe he had some brushes
Right.
before
Okay.
that
Wow. Wow.
made them just
Wow. Wow. Wow.
back off. But anyway, it was the best
Okay.
thing for
All right.
everybody because
So
it worked
so
out
now
great.
after the dry closing happens, right? And the one guy who was the buyer that survived? What was his name? Yeah.
That
What
was
was
his
his name?
partner. That was his
What was
partner.
his name? Do you know?
Oh,
All right. So we'll just
Bobby.
okay. All right.
His
So
name was
All right.
Bobby.
So now Bobby owns this property and he's
Yeah.
running it like a body shop, right?
Yeah, so he just
Okay.
goes and he's in
Wait,
business,
so
right,
Bobby
right away,
waited
yeah.
3 years and then paid off, paid Archie
Paid
in
it
3 years,
off,
right? Now I'm
Yeah.
assuming because you probably did the right thing, you went to that settlement as well. You already paid,
No, I got
so you
paid.
didn't go to the settlement.
No, I didn't go to that. No.
Why? Why? It's your job. So
I
you got
knew
your
that.
money on run. You are horrible, dude. Your ass should have been at that settlement.
Well, Archie paid the
Why didn't you? I mean, come on.
Well, I didn't even know. In fact, I talked to Archie. He goes, "Oh, he paid off. The loan." In fact, Archie did call me, but I didn't.
Well,
Need
to be
go,
honest with you,
it
well,
was,
just so you
things.
know, let me just so you know, to be honest with you, Archie probably didn't go either because it's not a purchase; it's a refinance at that point. So he just refinanced
Right,
the loan and paid Archie off. So that's why you didn't go.
And that
Archie just signed.
things
All
are
he did
good.
was sign his deed.
There was nothing. There was right. A check was probably
or
delivered to
wired.
Archie,
Yeah, or wired.
or he went by and
or
picked
they
it
wired
up
it, or they
from
wired it to his
the
account.
company.
But there's a prime. But what
Yeah.
you're talking about is a prime example where a normal contract would have never worked ever. Never works.
No.
Right?
No, but this is the thing I tell you, and this is for your students, your future
At the Golden
students,
Triangle Academy, the
and
school
what
for real
have
estate
you.
investors. Thanks for that shameless plug.
Right, because you and I, our foundation is
Yep.
contract for deed
Absolutely.
installment. That's
Yep. Bread and
our-
butter. Bread and
That's
butter.
the super
Yes.
bullet,
It's the best contract out.
or
It's
the
the best
magic
contract out there, bar none,
And-
period, full stop.
So if you don't understand that contract, how are you going
You
to
can't.
suggest it?
Can't.
No.
You can't.
No, you
can't.
just can't. You got nowhere to go. You were like, and you asked me, would everybody would walk away
Absolutely.
from that deal.
No.
But I had the experience because
Yeah.
I've done them. My first one, it was on another podcast. Everybody should watch. It's about not recording. You can watch it. But I learned the hard way on my very first installment
Oh,
sale.
that's what. You're
And
talking
believe
about the
me, I
one
knew
with you where you didn't record the contract, and the guy ran
I
up a
didn't
bunch
reach.
of
My
yeah, and he
partner asked me not
ran up
to.
a bunch of liens.
Yeah,
Well, shame on you there.
you got to
Yeah, you got to
record them.
record everything.
But
Absolutely.
see, the attorney, my friend did record
Yeah, and
the
you should
contract. So
record everything.
they were
Get it
protected. Yeah,
notarized and record everything.
yeah,
Right. Be on the up and up.
yeah. Because that's really important. But there are, even today, 2023, very few people know the power of the
Barely
contract to
anybody
do.
knows it. Very
Very
few.
few.
Dude, it's the most powerful contract out there. I I
It
bought
really is, and
no.
we're not
I
blowing
bought
smoke.
hundreds of homes
We
using this.
really are
I bought
not,
hundreds
man.
of homes using it.
It, it, in fact, it might be more powerful
Let me
today than it was 10,
here's
20, 30,
here's
40
here,
years ago. It
here's
may
what I
be
here
more
is
powerful with the market coming
absolutely.
up.
Here's
Oh
my
my
new
God.
motto. I am going out there to revolutionize the way people buy and sell properties in the United States of America. You heard it first on this podcast, the guru and the other guy. Vinny's good.
Yeah. Well, can I get on that bus
Absolutely.
too, or
Yeah, the
am I
bus is
being left
long.
behind?
Jump in, man. We got plenty of room.
Yeah, you're right. But you have to deal with people who know how.
Right.
We talked about on the podcast. It's how you talk to
Yep.
people, how you
Yep.
present the contract, how
Absolutely.
you
Yep.
explain it.
Yep.
You really have to not only know the contents or the structure of it, but you got to know how
Yes.
to present it and
Yep.
how to talk
You have to educate
to
the seller. You
people
got to
because
educate.
yeah, sellers want to like who people that they're doing
Absolutely.
business with.
And they want to
Of
trust them.
course, there's
They
people that
want to,
don't.
that comes hand in
Right.
hand though.
If you're a cash buyer, you don't have
Right.
to like anybody. If you're doing creative financing and alternatives, that seller needs
Yes.
to like you.
No doubt. Without question. Because he's got to trust you.
Yeah. You
He's
got to have a
got to
little
trust
charm to
you.
you. Yeah.
They're putting a lot of faith in you, right? No matter what you're doing, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
absolutely. The first thing you should do is you want to be
Yes.
likable. Now, you could be a miserable bastard on your personal life, but when
Right.
you're in business,
You got to play the game. You got to play. I don't want to call it the game, but you have
you
have to.
really,
Yeah, I
really
couldn't agree
do.
with you more, Guru. I could not agree with you more. Well, there you go, folks. I want to let people know, right? There's a deal right there where every other realtor would have passed on the deal, wouldn't have known how to get it done. You did it because you understood how an installment sale contract works, got it done, got paid, and it went smooth for everybody, and it worked out. It's a win-win deal for anybody. And if anybody wants to learn how to do this, this is my bread and butter. The Golden Triangle Academy is your spot. Mm-hmm. Sorry, Guru. Go ahead.
Well, you know what else I was thinking about as you were talking? Let's say the seller and they owe a few bucks more
So they're underwater.
house
They're underwater.
than it's worth. They're
Okay.
a little
Yep.
underwater, but
Yep.
if particular property,
Yep.
because it's
Yep.
location, just
Yep.
the dynamics that it's
Yeah.
going to appreciate in the next few years. Then pay a little bit
Listen,
over.
absolutely. I just taught a class. You know what?
Don't worry
Guru,
about
you
the
know,
price. Don't
you know
worry
what,
about
Guru?
the interest rate. Look at other things
You know what,
beyond
Guru?
that.
Yeah, absolutely. Right? Because listen, I just actually last Monday night our class was on this exact. Yes,
Really?
I've overpaid for houses, but listen, this is what I talk about. Okay, you're not just making monthly cash flow. Okay, if it's an investment property, yes, cash flow. Now, okay, you overpaid for the house, but this is a long-term buy and hold. Like you said, it's going to do a few things. Right.
Not in reality.
It's going to appreciate, so that means the value is going to go up. You're going to have amortization, which means your loan balance goes down. All that in between is equity, okay? You got cash flow. Now, here's the other important thing. Even on an installment sale, you're the person that gets the write-offs. Now, if you're a W-2 employee or a 1099, That's going to help you. The losses on that real estate, by the time you write off by the time you depreciate it, and you write everything off, you're going to have a loss, which is going to carry over. And
Write everything
now
off,
you're saving. You're saving on your federal taxes, which means more money in your pocket. So not only are you making money on a monthly cash flow basis, you're saving on your federal income taxes, right? Which will save you on your state taxes as well. Okay. You're building appreciation. You're getting amortization. You're building equity, and all that money is tax-free in the middle. That's all tax-free money, right?
Absolutely.
Why it's there.
It's like here, the property not far from here. I have another property about a quarter mile away. Lynn just said, "Hey, going to get new flooring. Why give it to the government?
Right.
By the end of the year,
Right.
There's things with properties you like buy and hold.
I was a buyer and holder.
I do side with you. There are properties you really should buy and hold because, in the long run, is it good to get 15, 30, 40? But you're going to spend that money, man. And if you buy and hold, that 30, 40 turns into bigger
absolutely,
numbers.
Absolutely. Now, but the one thing, though, I want to make very clear, though, if you overpay for a house, you better be cash flowing, right? Don't look. Would I buy?
That's what I'm saying.
Would I buy a house that breaks even or makes a little bit of money? I would if I know it's in a great part of town and I know that the house is in really good shape and I'm not going to need to do anything for it 5, 6, 7, 10 years out. And I know that my appreciation is going to go way up. So I would do it, but it all depends. That's why you got to know how to look at these things. Yes.
Know your area,
yes.
The market. You know.
Absolutely.
You can say, okay, is that 3 bedrooms, 2 baths? It's in that location versus.
Yes.
You have to know.
Absolutely. You got to know your market. Yes.
Real value.
Got to know your market.
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right. So.
Yeah. And that
comes from experience. That comes from experience.
Yeah, it doesn't. You're going to find if someone joins the academy, they're going to find they join it on January 1st. On December 31st, 2024, they're going to discover they got a lot smarter.
Listen, here's Guru. Let me tell you.
They're going to go. For $600,
$59 a month. It's $59 a month. Yes, whatever that is. Whatever 50. Yeah, 60 times 12. What is that?
Nothing. You're going to go. I did deals, and I did this for this money.
Right.
Versus paying 20, 25, 30
to learn one thing. Yep.
Phonies.
It's a joke. It's a joke. Yeah. I do it so that I can help everybody, right? I don't want to be like the gurus. I don't want to be they've destroyed more people's lives. We'll wrap it up with this. Let me tell you this. I've had students pay 20 grand, 30 grand, 40 grand.
Oh, I know. I've seen them.
And I say, listen, put up on the board what you know. They know nothing. Zero. And I said, what did you pay for?
They're like spiritually broken, man.
Sad,
I've seen them. They're broken individuals. And I say you have to go put them back together.
I do.
Which you do. And, it takes a little time to do that. But they're better off for it. Forget what you paid the gurus. Just go to the triangle.
Right.
Forget about it. Get that out of your head. Because if you hold on to lost money, man, you're never going to go forward.
It's sad how they get ripped off. And then what happens is they get depressed, right? They don't want to do it anymore, right? Because they tried it, and now they don't trust anybody because they got screwed by those idiots. I hate them.
We talked on one of the podcasts, first installment sale. Now, my partner
screwed you over.
He was right there. $45,000 I lost. Did that stop me?
No. Well, that's part 2 of it is that you can't quit because anybody that quits, you're not going. It doesn't matter if it's real estate or whatever else in life. If you quit, you're just a quitter.
And most people, if you're not in real estate, if you have a 9 to 5 job, there's a ceiling on your
Right.
income, man. There's no
No,
ceiling on real
absolutely
estate.
not.
You have
No.
no ceiling. Having a 9 to 5 job, it's
Yeah.
a restriction, man. You gotta
Mo-
do something that really give you
yeah.
financial freedom.
Most people
You
hate the
do.
9 to 5 job. They hate it, right? And they want to get out of it, and I can understand why. But paying some guru thousands of dollars is not the ticket out, right? Because you're not going to learn
No,
anything, right? You're not going to learn anything.
no.
Your only thing you're going to do is make those guys rich, right? Because they're marketers. That's all they are is marketers.
Yeah,
That's it. That's it.
they touch a
Yeah.
button in them, and and they get them, man. It amazes me, all these people that are
It's
paying all
sad.
that
It's
money.
sad.
You know,
Well,
it
you know
just,
what you
yeah,
can't you
it
listen,
really
Guru. You know
is.
what it is. It's that we live in an instant gratification world in our country. It's
Oh yeah,
instant gratification, and people think if they just
yeah.
go pay this person $20,000, they're going to become rich and they can quit their job next month, and it doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. It just doesn't. We've got years and years of experience doing this stuff.
Yeah. See, that's part of the mentality with the Golden Triangle. People go, wait a minute, fifty nine
No, just
ninety nine a
59,
month, and
not
I'm going to be
59.99, 59 flat.
59. I
Yeah,
always thought, okay, fifty
yeah,
nine dollars, and people expect to pay
yeah.
thousands
Right,
and thousands. So they're like
right,
cynical, like, oh, you can't do
right,
that for
right.
$59.
But people don't
Oh
realize
my
I'm doing.
God,
By the way,
yeah.
the other guy.
Well, you'll
Yeah, of
take
course I
more,
will.
right?
Of course I will. Yeah,
Five
sure, I'll
thousand a month,
take it.
take 5,000.
Yeah, I'll
Makes them
take
feel
it. I'll
better.
take it. And just so that people know, the other guy doesn't have any affiliation with the Golden Triangle Academy. He just knows the power. He knows how powerful education is.
You hit the subscription button and liking.
Right.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's what
Reach
we want.
reminds me.
Yeah,
I'll hit that.
that's where
Hey, that's a
that's
good
where
thing.
our meal
I'm gonna.
ticket's
Matter
gonna
of fact,
come
I'm gonna
in.
play that for the folks right now. It's on the screen right now. So if you like our podcast, please subscribe, hit the bell, hit whatever it is you do on the YouTube thing. Just do it for us, so that.
I'm endorsing it. I'm not getting 5 cents from the Golden Triangle. What the
Wow.
hell?
I appreciate it. I appreciate
You
it.
know, if
Thank you.
yeah, I don't BS anybody. If I tell
Right.
you to do
I
it,
appreciate that.
it's something
I
that I
appreciate
would
that.
do.
Thank you.
You know, yeah,
I appreciate that. If we want to plug one of your
yeah.
companies, we'll be glad to do that. So But listen, Guru.
If you want wisdom, just text Vinny and say
Right.
you want wisdom, and I'll
Right.
be here all the time. So,
Well, for the people that, if anybody does want to work with the Guru, right, he's available for private lessons and anything like that.
well, we
Yeah.
work in team. You and I
Right.
work as a team. I would only come in,
I got you.
as a
I
team
got you.
with you.
So Guru, you're in Florida now, but you're heading back toward Ocean City,
Florida,
New Jersey,
yeah.
correct? Tonight.
Tonight, very
Okay.
late tonight.
All right. Now you driving straight through? Straight through. God bless you.
I'm a mule.
No,
You know,
thank you. I
the
can't
thing
do it.
is, I come down here. I'm 2 weeks here,
Yeah.
3 weeks there,
Yeah.
2 weeks. So but it can
Yeah.
be grueling, as you
Yeah,
know,
it's,
with
it's,
your son.
I'm going down in a couple
Oh
of
my
weeks. I'm driving to
God.
Tampa. 17 hours.
Yeah.
17
Yeah.
hours. But
Yeah, well, I made it down here
Wow.
in 15. That was
Okay.
a joy. 17, you start.
well, we don't do. We stop in
getting-
South Carolina. We stay there for the night. Yeah, we go 10
do
hours
you?
the first day. Then we go, and on the way back we
Yeah.
stop in North Carolina, and then do the rest. So that's what we're gonna do. So all right. So Guru. So listen. So next
Okay.
week we'll give them some more stories. Maybe we'll talk about subject 2 a little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll go after that stuff because we were going to talk about that this podcast. Or if you got stories, listen, we got 1,000 stories that we can give. So
I have. I
right.
have deals and deals and deals.
all right, so we'll pick it.
And you learn. Well, first of all, that
Yeah.
first deal, why I'm very good at
Right, because you learned your lesson.
because I lost.
Yeah, you learned your lesson.
45,000.
Yeah, you'll never.
I wasn't going to learn
Right.
much.
Yeah,
making
you learned your lesson. Yeah,
I learned
you
a
learned
lot
your lesson.
losing it.
Well,
Yeah.
you learned your lesson, but you
Yeah.
learned it, and that's But you made up for it later
Yeah.
on, which is a good thing. So
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Well. Yeah,
it is what it
that's the
is.
whole thing,
All right, Guru. Listen, safe
So
We're done.
Are we done?
Yeah,
Are you
we're done.
enlightened
So listen,
dismissed or what?
safe travels down to Ocean City,
Thank
and
you.
we will pick this up next week sometime. Next week sometime,
Yep.
we'll have some fun. So
Absolutely.
have a good, safe
Yep.
trip, right? And I will see you. I'll see you next week. We'll pick it up and we'll tell some more stories. All right, brother. Take care.
All right.
See you, Guru. Take care, buddy.
Peace.
All right.
Peace out.
Bye.
See you, man.